Hi and what's up? In this video we'll discuss args and kwargs, how to use them, how you can provide them to a function and stuff like that. So let's get started. Suppose I have a function by the name of my func and it receives two things. The first one is A and the second one is B. And all it does is it returns the sum of A and B. But right over here the problem is that we need to provide this A and B as a tuple to this sum. If I don't, we will get an error and you can try it for yourself. Anyway, once I provided the A and B as a tuple to this sum and then I call this function with two values, one is 60 and the other one is 40, I will receive 100, which is perfectly fine. Let's make this function a little bit more complicated, and instead of returning directly the sum, let's just return 5% of the sum. If I press shift and enter and then come over here and run it, you will see that we will get 5.0, and that's the correct answer. Now we understand this because this is pretty simple, but suppose later on my requirement changed and I needed three things to, I needed three numbers to be added and return the 5% off. I would just add the third argument and then give it some default value. So in case if someone gives it two arguments, so it won't get upset. And then right over here, I have to say we have a C as well. So you need to add the C to the sum as well and then provide me the 5%. Now if I run the program, it will be okay, and if I provide it a third argument, it will work as well. So my point right over here is that every time if I need to change every time if I need another argument, I have to come over here and add the argument and give it a default value and then pass it to the sum as well, which is a bit lengthy process, and I may forget that if this is a bigger function so right now this function is just one liner, but later on we will be working with functions having 100 lines or so. So in that, then the changes would be really difficult. So instead of this, Python provides us a really nice way of handling this problem, which is *args, and it's the same thing, but right now you can just provide it unlimited values. So suppose if I just comment this line out and print the args, for instance, you would see that we will get all of these arguments as a tuple right over here in this function. If I press shift and enter and then press shift and enter, you would see that we get all of the arguments passed to this function as a tuple. Now what I can do, I can remove this line and uncomment this line, and instead of providing it ABC as a tuple, I can just provide it args, press shift and enter, and then press shift and enter on this function call. You would see that we will get the accurate result of adding three numbers. Now I can add unlimited number of arguments right over here. Suppose I provide 500, then I later on need to provide 600, so I can provide it unlimited values. So this is a really clean and nice way of handling providing unlimited arguments to a function. So if you are not sure about the arguments on a call of a function, you can just provide *args to a function and it will handle everything for you, and it will make your life pretty easy. One thing else I want to show you is this args name is not compulsory. The star is compulsory if you're willing to say I want to provide unlimited arguments to a function. So you can just write star, and after that you can name anything you want this args to, as long as it follows the rules of variables. So it will work the same way. Suppose I provide a spam right over here and press shift and enter and then run the code, you would see that we will get the same answer. So my point right over here is that this args name is not compulsory. You can name it anything, but it is indeed a best practice to follow, because when someone else is using your code and you provide spam right over here, they will get confused and they will not understand what the heck is happening right over here. So if you just simply provide args, it will make a lot of people's life a lot more easier than naming it something else. So once more, it's not compulsory to have it args, but it's a best practice to have it args. Anyway, that we are over with args, let's understand star kwargs. Suppose you have a situation or a function where you want to provide a function with keyword and a value. So suppose you want to provide it a fruit as apple to a function, and you need it, you desperately need that. And you also provide it vegetables, and let's just say carrot. And all this function does is it just prints out the argument that you have provided. So let's just say fruit and vegetable. And if I press shift and enter and then call this function, you would see that it will print out apple and carrot. Now, in the same manner, if I'm willing to provide it something else, like suppose human beings or something like that, I have to add it right over here and then add it to the print. And as always, if I have 100 lines of code, I need to make changes to those as well, which is pretty hectic. So instead, we have a cleaner way of doing this, and that is star kwargs, which all it says is I can receive unlimited amount of keywords and arguments, and I can do whatever you want me to do with it. Like I can print them out to the screen, I can perform some conditions on it, I can do whatever you want me to do with it. I can perform a loop, anything you want. And once I make the changes to the function, I provided kwargs and then print the kwargs. And now if I come over here and provide it fruit equal to apple, and then provide it vegetable as carrot, and then press shift and enter, you would see that it will print out the keyword and arguments in the form of a dictionary. So now I can loop through, I can do whatever I want with it. Now you can provide one function with both this args and kwargs as both at the same time. So suppose I have a function and I'm just overriding this function again and again just for the sake of simplicity. So suppose you have a function where you provide it with args and star kwargs at the same time. All this function does is it prints out args and kwargs. Now what I can do is I can call this function, and calling this function is pretty simple. I have provided args first, so I need to provide all of the single values first. And then once I'm finished with single values, I can then provide it with keyword and arguments. If I press shift and enter, you would see that it will provide first the arguments as a tuple, and then it will print out the kwargs as a dictionary. So do note that right over here, one thing is notable, that after this kwargs, you cannot provide a single value again. If you do that, you will get an error, and that's because you have to provide the single values first, because we have said we will provide the arguments first and then the keyword and then the keyword and arguments. So that's one thing to note. And also do note that this kwarg is also not compulsory. It's a best practice to have kwargs right over here, but it's not compulsory. You can name it an elephant, a zebra, a fruit, anything you want. So this is pretty much it for this video. Once more, indeed it was a short video just explaining args and kwargs, which you will indeed need in future. It's really important to have, because in most of the program, like if you are working in a team, or if you have a project, something from a GitHub or an open source project, so there you must see people you have used these args and kwargs, so you would get confused what they are and how to use them. So that's why I wanted to create a quick video and make you understand what star args and kwargs is. So once more, if you are willing to provide a function with unlimited single arguments, you write there star args. And if you are willing to provide it with keywords and arguments, and the number is unknown, or right now you are unsure about the number, you there specify a function with star star kwargs. And again, this args and kwargs is not compulsory. You can name these variables anything you want, but it's a best practice to use. You can use both of them combined as well, but you need to keep the order in your mind. If you have provided star args in the first, so you need to provide all of these unlimited variables first and then provide the star kwargs values. And if you have provided star kwargs first, so then you need to keep the order in mind. So this is pretty much it for this video. I hope you did learn everything about star args and kwargs. If not, leave a comment down below and I will surely explain it to you. So till next time, enjoy hacking, stay cheeky breaky, and peace out.